you do it, it's not that bad, but honestly, if I were taking the test, I probably would have skipped this one, okay? A new radioactive element is found on Mars. Who cares? That's just irrelevant information. Every 10 years, the concentration of the element is a quarter of what it was at the start of the 10-year period. Do you guys understand what a quarter means? Basically means that, like, if it started off with 4, divide by 4 is 1, right? So a quarter of that would be number 1. So the next year it would be, every 10 years, the next one would be 3. And then the next 10 years, it would get reduced down from there another quarter, okay? So the concentration of the element is a quarter of what it was at the start of the 10-year period. If the decay rate is given by, and so this is the given. The given is C equals C to the O, or C whatever, X to the T over 10th power. Already some of you guys just have given up with life, right? Don't give up just yet. Stick with me. C to the 0 is the initial concentration of the element. Okay, and C is the final concentration. So this is the final. And then C to the O is the initial. Okay? And T is going to be the time. So they want to know what is the value of X. So we're trying to solve for this number right here. Okay, so what they do first is they plug in a number for T. And do you guys understand why they chose T equals 10? They chose T equals 10 because 10 over 10 gets reduced down to a 1. So you don't have to play around with some crazy number. Okay, so please understand why we chose 10, because if you plug that in, 10 over 10 will reduce this down to a 1 and make life a lot easier for us. Okay, and they chose a number 12 for C. And you know why they chose a number 12 for C? Because you got to be wise with your number choosing. You got to think of a number that's divisible by 4. Okay, that's large enough but not too large that's going to make the math crazy. So it does say that every year, every 10 years, the concentration is, and this is the initial concentration, it is going to be 1/4 of what it was at the start. Okay, so the concentration is going to be 1/4 of what it was at the start, which is going to be 12. Okay, therefore the concentration is going to be 3. So now you know what that concentration is, okay, at the end, because if you divide it by 4, it's going to be this at the end, okay? Because so it's going to go from 12 down to 8, 12 down to 9, down to 6, down to 3, okay? Because it gets quartered every single time. So you know what the C is now. The C is the 3, okay? So the 3 is right here. We know that the initial one, we already said, we've chosen that number is going to be 12. Okay, we're solving for the X. And then we know that the T is going to be the 10, and you put the 10 underneath it. These cross out to just become a 1. We just made this math totally easy. How do you solve for X? You just divide out the 12, divide out the 12. That crosses out. The 3 goes into the 12 once.